Today we're doing a side-by-side comparison of two iconic timepieces, the Longines Spirit and the Hamilton Khaki Automatic. The Longines is a mid-level luxury watch which retails for about $2,000, and the Hamilton is an entry-level luxury watch retailing new at about $800. Let's dive right in and see what set these two watches apart and what the main differences are. So let's start by talking about the mid-level luxury watch here first. That is a Longines Spirit, launched in 2020 to much acclaim. This model quickly gained popularity for its exceptional quality and timeless design, making it one of the best field pilot watch options available today. In just a few years, Longines has capitalized on this popular design and brought out even the Zulu Time GMT models, which are very popular. And of course, using this as the base design, they added a GMT complication. It really makes it very unique, and at the same time, it gives watches like the Tudor Black Bay GMT a run for its money. So if you want to find out more about this Longines Spirit, I have another video where I talk in detail about the watch and also comparing it to some of the top tier watches such as the IWC Mark 20 as well. Let's take a closer look at the specs. The Longines Spirit features a 40mm case with a height of 12mm, a lug-to-lug of 50mm, a lug width of 21mm, a 100-meter water resistance, and weighs about 60 grams. The Longines also have the L888.4 movement, and it is an absolutely stunning movement. It has one of the smoothest winding feel when you wind the watch, and it is just a really well-made movement in terms of the finishing, in terms of the quality. It has a silicone balance spring as well, which makes it very highly anti-magnetic. It beats at 25,200 VPH and has a 72-hour power reserve. And best of all, it is also Chronometer certified. In my other video, I compared this to a watch 3 times the price, which is the IWC Mark 20. On the right side here, the Hamilton Khaki has a case diameter of 42mm, a height of 11mm, a lug-to-lug of 51mm, a lug width of 22mm, a 100-meter water resistance, and a 2824 ETA base movement with a 42-hour power reserve, beating at 28,800 VPH. Of course, this is the older generation model of this watch. The current generation that's retailing in the marketplace today has the H10 movement, which actually has a lower beat rate, about 21,600 VPH, 80 hours power reserve, and also has a anti-magnetic hairspring called a Niverchron hairspring. It's sort of like an anti-magnetic alloy. I don't think it's as good as a silicone hairspring. Of course, if you know more about the differences between the Niverchron hairspring and a silicone balance hairspring, please comment in this video and let me know more about that. So what are the improvements you get moving up to a mid-level luxury watch like the Longines over here? Let me break it down for you. Let's start with the case details. The Longines Spirit excels in case finishing, featuring brush and high polished surfaces with intricate details. If you compare this to the Hamilton, it has a simpler brush finishing, less complexity on the case design, and is decidedly more simple. And you can see in its execution as well, it's got more of these clean lines. There's nothing really fancy about the case, and it's pretty industrial and simple. You get this brush finishing throughout, a signed crown, which is really good, just like the Longines. However, you can see at the sides, at the corners, and of course at the lugs, you get a different, more simpler finishing compared to a mid-level luxury watch. You don't get much of the high polish as well. You get a hint of the high polish on the bezel, and that's it. Comparatively, in the mid-level luxury watch like the Longines, you will start seeing a bit more complexity in the case design. There's more thought being put in there. The second place that you will see the difference is the dial. So if you compare and look at the Hamilton itself is quite a leader in the department anyway. In terms of its price range, it does beat a lot of watches in the marketplace. It does have quite a well-made dial with lume numerals, a frame date window, and it has a bit of depth to the dial as well. You get an alternating dial finish. If you look at it close up, it gives a bit of dimension, and it separates the numerals and different parts of the dial as well, the inner and the outer part. You can see it on close up. And it doesn't have any blemishes. You're not going to see, at least on the naked eye, any much differences between the finishing. It is very good for its price. But the Longines is truly a step up in the dial department, And the reason why it's one of the best in the price range, if you look at the lume numerals, it has high polished steel, it's set inside it, you get lume plots matching the second hand. You can see how the design is very deliberate, where the second hand sweeps over the triangle lume plots, which matches. You get brighter lume, applied details such as the 5 stars, the logo and such. You got a bit of a dimensionality, and also the dial finishing is a little different. It's not just matte black, you got a bit of a gloss, it feels a little different. It is having something that is a more unique design, if I were to put it that way, and it is actually quite a unique design on Longines by itself. And of course, the execution of the design of the dial, in my opinion, is outstanding. Now, the third part where you really see the difference, and I think this is where you will start seeing some of the differences moving up to the mid-range compared to an entry-level watch, is the movement and the quality of the movement. Well, not really the accuracy all the time, but the finishing of the movement as well. At the entry-level automatic watch, such as the Hamilton Khaki over here, you get the 28-24 ETA-based movement. Don't get me wrong, I love ETA-based movements. As you go through your watch journey, you realize that some of these ETA movements are the best, most robust movements ever made. So a movement does not need to be in-house to be a good movement, and they don't really need to be all the time. And not all watch brands have the capacity and capability to make their own movement, but they can certainly do some modifications for the better. Both Longines and Hamilton are benefiting from being in the same Swatch group, which means that they have the same level of shared technology and movements. You can technically say both movements are in-house or in-group, if that makes sense, because right now the Swatch group actually owns the patents on all the ETA movements, and most of their movements come from there anyway. The main differentiating factor would be the technologies in them. In the Longines Spirit over here, it has a Chronometer certified movement, which is certified by the COSC, which means that this is accurate up to -4 to 6 seconds a day based on ISO standards. Only 3% of Swiss watches are certified by the COSC as Chronometer certified. Now, this is a big deal because it's tested in 5 different positions for 15 days in different temperatures, humidity, pressure, and such. And it has to pass this kind of test before it can be certified. Of course, the Hamilton here does not have that Chronometer certified movement. It has a lower grade ETA movement and no anti-magnetic balance spring, which means it is probably more sensitive to magnetic fields that affect the accuracy of the movement. Of course, the current generation, as I said before, has the H10 movement, which features a Nivacron hairspring, which should have some anti-magnetic qualities as well, which helps there. You can also see from the movement, there are different levels, quality of finishing. Of course, we can't see it in the Longines here because it's a closed case back, whereas you will look at the Hamilton one, you can see an open case back, which is nice to have a look at. You can see the finishing quality of the movement as well. So they have different grades for the movements, which separates them apart. So in conclusion, both the Longines Spirit 40mm and the Hamilton Khaki Automatic 42mm are exceptional timepieces in their own right. Whether you're drawn to the pilot-inspired aesthetics of the Longines or the military-inspired design of the Hamilton, both watches offer a sense of history and heritage that adds to the romance of wearing a mechanical wristwatch. So if you're watching this video and you're deciding between these two watches, here's my take on it. Get them both. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button. It will really help the channel and help us to create more content like this. And do remember to subscribe as well. It really, really helps us a lot. Thank you very much and have a great week. So do remember to check out our other videos as well. We have watch reviews and also watch opinions where I talk a bit about the market and also the watch market, including the Rolex marketplace as well. Do visit our website. We have watches for sale and we also have watch straps. And if you use the code in our description below, you'll be able to get a discount on them.